So we seem to be working. Oh, look, we have lower now. What's that? She can't say Jenna. Can't see Jenna. Jenna's not here, baby. I think she must be with Mommy at Macy's. But you're here talking. You want this or not? Huh? No. I don't want you to play that. Also, when we're reducing, you can just list and let pick up whatever. But we're not going to get any news because nobody has back us. We're getting ready to, hey, Violet, come here. Uh-huh. Because we're getting ready to put so let's go ahead and put the flag. Wait right here for a little bit. For some reason, this is not telling you working crazy because you're going to take too long.
What about, can you hear from the camera?
Maybe.
Did we have to call up when I was at the volleyball game last week?
But we switched stuff out, so it's supposed to be better. So are we hearing from that, maybe? We're not hearing from this one.
Yeah, I'm seeing audio unless I change.
How come I can hear myself talk? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Do I need to speak louder?
No, it picks you up when you talk right in. But it's only if we're on the mic. So if you look over here. So I did where I was. There was an option for 2 USB. And then like watch videos, and then I did. So now we hear her versus the USB. Tomorrow I'm hoping it's this better. Before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, we want to give a shout out to our platinum sponsors who are Ready Set Grow Daycare, Dutch Country Market, and Home Heating and Air Conditioning, Hometown Heating and Air Conditioning. We'd also like to thank our black level sponsors who are Equity Bank and Sonic Drive-In. We appreciate their continued support of the yearbook program and helps make this broadcast possible. So thank you very much and welcome to tonight's game. We're going to do a little quick test on the mic, and it looks like we don't mean to blow you out, so I think we're fine. Okay, we'd encourage if you're watching us on YouTube that you leave us a note, and then we'll know who we're reaching.
I just
Turn it on.
it is on.
It's on. So when she talks, you can see these green spikes. So that means we've got some.
So I
You
need
gotta talk down there.
to say like when somebody gets like somebody's up to bat, like who the number is, who it is, and yeah.
So you'd say number 11, Colby Crabtree up to bat
Okay.
for Lexington. She strikes out, and then constantly you can do like 1 out, 2 outs, 3 outs.
Let me say like how many balls.
If they put it out there and you can read it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on YouTube and see if we're lucky.
Okay, so starting off the game tonight, we have for Lexington number 5 Chandler Hembury starting to bat. There's one ball. Chandler hits the ball and it is caught. Oh no, it is not caught. She makes it. She's going to third. And she makes it. Next up to bat for Lexington is number 7, which is Kylie Ashby. There's one strike. Or 2 strikes.
Would you like a bottle of water?
Yes, please. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kylie hits the ball. It is caught and it is on first. Lexington hits it and it is out. So now we have 2 outs with Lexington's number 11 up to bat, who is Colby Crabtree. There is 1 ball. One strike. Colby hits it, Sadie gets it, and is out at first. Next will be the Nomnoster Panthers up to bat. Mhm. First up to bat is number 25, Zoe Hodson. One strike. Two strikes. Oh, Zoe hits a pop-up. Zoe hits the ball, and it gets on. She gets to first from it. Next up to bat is Caitlin Everts, number 11. She bunts it and gets out at first. Zoe was able to get to second from it. Next up to bat is Lauren Hagel, number 21. One out. There's two strikes for Lauren. And Lauren Hagel strikes out. Next up to bat is Sadie Parks, number 13. Knob has two outs. Strike for Sadie. Second strike for Sadie. And Sadie hits it. She gets it out to the outfield. Zoe was able to come home from it, and Sadie was able to get to first. Next up to bat is Emma Frisbee, number 17. One strike for Emma. And Emma hits the ball, and she gets out at first. At the end of the first inning, Knob is up 1-0. Lexington's up to bat, number 4, Lindsay Phillips, and she has a strike. Second strike. And Lindsay gets out at first.
Hey, take the easy route. Go, Tiger.
Next up to bat for Lexington is number 0, Katie Harris. And Katie hits it, but it is caught by Olivia Bazanga. Ooh, there's now 2 outs. Next up to bat is number 21, Alyssa Stockton. There's one strike and one ball. Two balls, two strikes. And three strikes. Next up to bat is Nom Noster. Up to bat for Nom Noster is Cassidy Brent, number 16. And she hits it, and it goes right into the outfield. She was able to get on first. Next up to bat is number 31, Janissa Ramos. Two strikes. No balls. Cassidy tries to run, and she was able to go to second. Two balls, two strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Janisa keeps battling to get a hit. And she walks. Next up to bat is Olivia Bazanga, number 23. Cassidy on second and Janisa on first for Knob. One strike. Two strikes and Cassidy runs to third and she's safe. And Janisa ran to second and she's safe. Next up to bat is number 7, Caroline Corbett. Knob has 1 out and Russ, we're just having a little discussion. Carolyn punts it, but it doesn't work out, and she's going back to bat, and she has 1 strike. Two strikes. And 3 strikes. Carolyn's out, so we have 2 outs, and Zoe Hodson is back up to bat. Never mind, they just let Zoe walk to first. So next up to bat is Caitlin Everts, number 11. But we still have 2 outs. And Caitlin hits it, but it does not stay in field. So there's 1 strike. And she hits it, but it is caught. So next up to bat is Lexington in the inning 3. So in inning 3, Knob is still winning 1-0. First up to bat for Lexington is 27 Molly Chandra, and she hits it and gets to first. Next up to bat is number 18 Kyla Jenkins. And she hits it, and it goes past out into the outfield. The first runner gets to third, and the second runner gets to second. The next batter's number 1, Ava Hutchings. She has 1 ball. Two balls. Three balls. 0 strikes. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Lexington's player is able to walk to first. Next player is from Lexington is number 5, Chandler Humphrey. One ball, 0 strikes. One ball, 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes, and Lexington's player hit it, and it goes out in the outfield. But it gets out of base. So she has to hit again. And there's 1 ball and 2 strikes still. Lexington has 1 player on second, 1 player on first, and another player on third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And she hits it, but it is caught by a pitcher, Sadie Parks. Knob now has 1 out. And the next player up to bat is number 7, Kylie Ashby. There are still 3 players on base. And she hits it, but it is caught, and the girl Lexington was able to make it home, and they now have 1 point. There is still 1 player on third, 1 player on second, and 1 player on first. And number 11 is up to bat, which is Colby Crabtree. And she hits it, but it is caught, and Zoe grabs it, the catcher, and the girl, number 18 from Lexington, she's out. There's 1 player on third, 1 player on second, and 1 player on first. And a Lexington's player is up to bat. Number 4. Lindsay Phillips. Lexington has 1 strike, and there's 2 outs. One ball and 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. And she hits it, but it's a pop-up, and it is missed by Olivia Bazanga, and Lexington was able to bring 2 people home. So it's 1-3 with Lexington winning, and Lexington has another player up to bat. There's 2 outs, and never mind. Number 0 though is playing for Lexington, who is Katie Harris. She has 1 strike. Two strikes, 0 balls. 3 strikes, and that is the end for Lexington batting. Next at the next to bat is Nom Noster. Next up to bat for Knob at the bottom of the 3rd is number 27. No, not 27, I mean 21, Lauren Hagel. Lexington is winning 3-1. And Lauren hits it, but it goes out, not in field. She has 1 strike, by the way. Two strikes, 1 ball. And Lauren hits it, and it goes out into the outfield, but it's caught. But she runs to second. Oh wait, never mind. It was caught. Okay, so next up to bat is Sadie Parks, and her number is number 13. Knob has 1 out. And Sadie hits it, and it's bounced off the ground. And it is thrown at first, but the lady at first didn't catch it, so Sadie was able to get to first. Next up to bat is Emma Frisbee, number 17. And they put number 7 in. Or not. They put. Okay. So, Knob took Sadie out and put a runner in for her. I don't know what number it is, but yeah. And for Emma Frisbee, number 17, there is one strike. And she hits it and it goes out into the outfield. And there's a player running to third and a player running to second. Okay, Knob has a player going just all the way home. And Alex Schaefer was able to go all the way home. And Emma Frisbee was able to go to third. Okay, number 16 is Cassidy Brandt up to bat. One ball, 0 strikes, and there's one out for Knob. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and Lexington is still winning 3-2. 2 strikes. 1 ball. And Cassidy strikes out. Next up to bat is 31, Janisa Ramos. There's 2 outs. Knob still has a player on third. One ball. One strike. Two balls, 1 strike for Knob. And she hits it, but it is caught and is out at first. So, going into the top of the 4th, Lexington is winning 3-2. So, at the top of the 4th, the first player for Lexington up to bat is number 21, Lindsay Phillips. Or no, Alyssa Stockton. And she hits it and is out at first. Next player up to bat is 27 for Lexington, Molly Chandra. She has 1 ball and 1 strike. Two balls. Three balls, 1 strike. And she hits it, and it goes to Cassidy, and she throws it to first, and then number 27, it is out. Next person up to bat is number 18, Kyla Jenkins. Kyla has 1 ball. 2 balls.2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. And she throws it, but it is caught at Olivia Frisbee, number 18. Next up to bat will be Knob. At the bottom of the 4th, the first person up to bat for Knob is number 24, Olivia Bazenga. 23. She's number 23.
That is debatable. We haven't officially got. Now you can go over there.
And Olivia has 1 strike. Two strikes.
Hey, step to the pitcher, Liv. To the pitcher. Not to third. Step straight. Step straight, Liv.
Still 2 strikes. And Olivia hits it, but is caught by player that plays first base at Lexington. Next person up to bat is number 7, Carolyn Corbett for Knob. Knob has 1 out. And she punts it, but has to go back to batting. And she punts it again and is able to run to first, but she gets out. Knob now has 2 outs with Zoe Hudson, number 25, up to bat.
Fast hit. Let it travel.
1 ball, 1 strike for Zoe.
Swing hard, Zoe.
2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Zoe is still trying to hit one. There's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. With no one on base. Zoe is still battling away.
Chin down, babe.
Three balls, 2 strikes still. Zoe's still battling away. Two balls, 0 strikes. Two balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Knob has a player on second. And that was the 3rd out. So at the top of the fifth, the Lexington, the guest, is still winning 3-2, and the first person they have to bat is number 1, Ava Hutchings. One ball. One strike. One ball. And she hits it, but it is caught by Olivia Bazanga. So there's one out. And the next person up to bat is from Lexington, number 5, who is Chandler Humphrey. And she hits it, and it goes out to the outfield. And she's able to get on first. Next up to bat is number 7 from Lexington, who is Carly Ashby. And she hit it, but it's caught by Cassidy. And she's out. They still have one person on first. The next person up to bat for Lexington is number 11, Colby Cowtree. There's 2 outs. One ball, one strike. And she hits it. And it bounces off the ground. And there's a player from Lexington running to third. The player who just hit it was able to get to first. And the next player up to bat from Lexington is number 4, who is Lindsay Phillips. There's 2 outs. And the player on first was able to run to second. There's now a player on third and a player on second. And she hits it. And it is caught. And next is Non-Nostra up to bat. Okay. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Here it is. Huh? It's right here.
Can't see it. Well, first up to bat at the bottom of the fifth is Knob Noster's player, number 27. Oh, 21, sorry, Lauren Hagel. There's 1 ball and 1 strike. And she hits it, and it goes out into the outfield. And she's able to go on first. Next player up to bat is number 13, Sadie Parks. Sadie hits it, and it is caught by the person on third. There is 1 strike.
Let's go, Em.
Emma Frisbee is up to bat. And Lauren Hagel runs to second.
Come on, babe, you got it.
There's 1 ball. One ball, 2 strikes. Actually, 1 ball, 1 strike. Testing. There is 3 balls and 1 strike for Emma Frisbee. And she hits it, and Lauren Hagel is able to go home from it, and Emma Frisbee is able to get a double. Cassidy Brent is up to bat. Number 16.
Eyes on it, Cass. You got it.
One strike.
Stepping out, Cassidy.
Confidence, Cassidy. Let's go, babe. Your turn, Emma. You got it. There you go.
And she hits it, but it is caught by the person at first, and she is out. Next person up to bat is 31 Janissa Ramos. There is 2 outs. And she hits it. And it's a pop-up, and it is... Oh, it hits the ground! And Emma Frisbee's able to come home from it. And Janissa was able to get to first. Next person up to bat is number 8, Sarah Walters. Knob has 2 outs. One ball. Two balls. Two balls, 1 strike. And Sarah hits it. But it just is a ball. Or, yeah. So now she has 2 strikes and 2 balls. And Sarah hits it, and she's... Knob has a player on second and a player on first. And they are winning 4-3. Two strikes, 0 balls. And she hits it, but it is caught, and she's out. Knob is still winning 4-3. The first person up to bat for Lexington at the top of the sixth is number 0, Katie Harris. And she hits it. And Olivia Bazinga catches it and gets her out at first. Next up to bat is 21 from Lexington, who is Alyssa Stockton. And she strikes out. Well, she has a strike. One ball, two strikes. And she hits it and it goes down to the outfield. And it is got by Carolyn Corbett and thrown it first, and she is out. Knob now has 2 outs. Number 27 is up to bat, which is Molly Chandra. And she has 1 strike. And 1 ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tell me if you can see. She now has 3 balls and 2 strikes. And she hits it, and it's a pop up, and it is good, and runs to first. Next up to bat is number 18, Kyla Jenkins.
You ready, Zoe?
And she has 1 strike. And there's 2 outs. With 1 person on first. And she hit, and it is caught. Oh no, it isn't not caught by Olivia Basenga. And the person on first runs to third, and the person who was batting gets to first. The next person up to bat is number 1, Ava Hutchings. And the person on first was able to run to second. Now there is 1 person on third and 1 person on second with 1 strike and 2 outs. And the person, never mind. There's now 2 strikes. With 0 balls. And she hits it, and it's a ground ball, and the person on third was able to get home, and the person on first was out. However, the score is still 4 with non-muster winning to 3. At the end of the 6th, non-muster player up to bat is Zoe Hudson, number 25. One ball. There's now one ball and one strike. There is now one ball and two strikes.
Does it end at 7 or does it do a 7?
Seven.
It ends at 7, so this is the last. It does a 7.
And so he hits it, and she was able to make it out to the ball, goes out to the outfield, and so he's running to second. And she makes it to second. The next person ended up to bat is Caitlin Everts, number 11.
It's there. Go, 11. What do you say now?
And she punts it, and she's going to first, and so he's made it to third, and she's safe. The next person up to bat is number 21, Lauren Hagel.
Let's go, Lauren.
There is 0 outs. Caitlin was able to run on them, and she was able to get to second. Or one ball. And Sadie hits it, and it drops, and she's able, and she gets out at first. Lauren Hagel is now at third with Emma Frisbee, number 17, up to bat. Now Nostar has 1 out, and Lexington is taking a little chat. And Emma punts it. And she's able... Ooh. And she's out at first. They now have 2 outs with Cassidy Brett up to bat, number 16. Lauren Hagel runs to home, and she's able to make it home. It is now 7-3. There's 2 strikes and 0 balls. And Cassidy hit it, but is caught by the catcher, and she is out at first. Going into the top of the 7th, Namnoster is winning 7-3. At the top of 7th, Lexington is up to bat, and the person up to bat is Chandler Hemphrey, number 5.
Go, Knob. Solid D. Here we go.
And she hits it, and it goes out to the outfield, and it drops. And she is running to second, and she's running to third. Oh, she's stuck in between, deciding what should I go to, and she decides to go to third. The next player up to bat is number 1, Ava Hutchings. Or number 7. I lied. It was number 7, Kylie Ashby. And she hits it. But she's out at first. Next up to bat is number 11, Colby Crabtree. Lexington has 1 player at third, and there is 1 out. And she hits it, but it is a ground ball. Olivia Zinger catches it and throws it to first to get her out. There is now 2 outs. And now Lexington was able to go up a point. So now it is 7-4. With number 4, Lexington's player, Lindsay Phillips, batting. With 1 ball. Or 2 balls. Two balls, 1. Nom Nostra was able to win 7-4. Yeah, so Nom Nostra was able to win their homecoming game 7-4 against Lexington. Thanks for watching.